Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Jenny. I'm Moonlight Lady 1111. If you're a return viewer, then thank you so much for coming to see me again. I really appreciate that. And if you're new, welcome. So today I have a slightly different setup. As you can see, I have 4 piles instead of 3 for a start. And yeah, I've gone for a bit more of a different sort of reading today. Basically, this reading is, the title of this is going to be something like shadow work. You know, what do you need to accept about yourself? Shadow work is quite an important part of spirituality and going through awakenings and things like that, because, you know, there's, let's face it, there's a hell of a lot of love and light out there, okay? But it's not all love and light. Life isn't all light. You can't have light without the dark, okay? And I very truly believe that you can't fully start to accept yourself and love yourself until you see those dark bits of yourself, and you learn to love them too, you know. So we're going to be looking into, you know, like, what are those shadow aspects of you and your soul journey that you're on at the moment. You know, what shadows do you maybe need to be aware of? What shadows do you need to embrace about yourself? What do you need to recognize at the moment? Okay, so I will put a bit of a disclaimer on this one. You know, make sure you're ready to do that work. If it does get hard or tough at any point, you know, feel free to take a little break. That's fine. But, you know, it is really rewarding to do a bit of shadow work every now and again. Life is not all great. Okay. So when we look into these things, it really, really helps us to grow and to learn and to, you know, I think the key for me is looking at that bit of yourself, seeing that bit of yourself and learning to put your arm around it and pull it in for a hug anyway. Okay. So, a little bit more explanation at the start of this one than I usually do, wasn't there? Anyway, yes, so as you can see, I've got 4 piles. It's funny because the table does just feel quite heavy, but that's because we're doing some heavy work. Okay, we're doing some heavy work that we just really need to do. It's something that we need to, you know, put out there. I've even got a different sort of crystal grid set up today and everything, so that's nice. Yes, so what I need you to do is take a look at the 4 piles that I've got here, and then what I'd like you to do is take a deep breath in, hold it, and then a deep breath out. Draw your attention to the piles. Just let your gaze softly rest over each one. Don't think about numbers or positions or anything like that. Just see which one you're drawn to. See which one talks to you. I'll just give you a moment to do that. Okay. I think that should have been long enough. Right, so just trying to think, where will I put these other piles? As you know, I'm from Yorkshire, so I've got my brew there. That's of utmost importance, isn't it? Yeah, I'll put them over there, I think. Put them over here, I think, because I've got a couple of decks over here in case, you know me, sometimes I draw extra clarifiers even though I say I'm not gonna. Anyway, so I'll put pile number 2 over there. Excuse me, I don't know if you heard that, my tummy just makes a really weird noise. Pile number 3 and pile number 4, they can just rest down there, and we'll start with pile number 1. Good place to start as any, isn't it? Okay, I'll just reset the table. Okay. Right. Okay, hi pile number 1. You have chosen this pile. So I'll just pop this number 1 up there under that little bit of coral. There we go, resting on the selenite. So you know you're on the right one. Yes, you can see it. Okay, so I'll just get these cards set out. I've got 3 cards from the Night Sun Tarot up at the top for you there. Oh, I'll put that bell slightly in the wrong place. There we go. We're in line with the bell. We can see the edge, can't we? Okay, so we've got 3 Night Sun Tarot there. And then I've got 3 Deviant Moon cards. If you're one of my regulars, you'll know I bloody love the Deviant Moon deck anyway. And then I've got, I don't think I've used this on a video yet. I've used it on my Instagram. This is the Dali deck, all painted by Salvador Dali, which is, I think, really cool. Just move that cup of tea away a bit in case. I've got 2 Soul's Journey lesson cards there. And I've got the Wild Unknown, oh sorry, I can't talk. Wild Unknown archetype cards there as well. Okay, yes, we can see everything, so that's good. I have got the book from the Wild Unknown Archetypes with me because it is a very, very big deck. There's a lot of cards in it. So I'm still kind of getting to grips with some of them. Oh, anyway, gosh, energy's all over the place. I'm loving that we're doing this, this work, guys. I'm really loving that you've committed to looking into this part of yourself. Okay. Right. Okay, so first up, we've got the Queen of Swords, Strength, Death in the reverse. Okay. The Empress in the reverse, the Emperor. Wow, guys, the Empress and the Emperor right next to each other. The Empress is looking at the Emperor as well. Maybe that's why she's in the reverse. Don't know. Let's keep going. 4 of Cups in the reverse. I think I can see where this is going, guys. 5 of Cups down there. Queen of Swords again. Wow. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Cups in the reverse. Just going to say right now, there's a lot of Libra energy on this table. Anyway, and air signs. We have indecision. I'm not going to lie. I feel slightly personally attacked by the cards right now, guys. I'm also a Libra, and I'm full of indecision all the time. And we have guilt. Okay. And we have the bridge. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to be a Libra, by the way. It could be, but I do feel quite strongly. Could be moon sign, could be sun sign, could be rising sign. Anyway, right, let's crack on. So, I'm just getting to grips with all the cards at the minute. Like I said, there's 2 Queen of Swords here. And there's swords and cups and nothing else. So, I think the shadow aspect of you that you need to be looking into, pile number 1, is it's to do with allowing yourself to feel your emotions. Okay, I think that you might have like quite a bit of control issues going on. Sometimes you might act out of a place of kind of coldness or you know, uber discerning. You know, everything must be just so. It's kind of what I'm hearing. Not particularly soft, and balance is very big here. I think you might be quite intuitive. I think you might be very in touch with your spiritual side, actually. Okay, I'm going to go through the cards and tell you what I see. So with regards to shadow aspects, so this is a new spread for me as well, so I'm going to kind of be getting to grips with the spread as I'm reading it to you. But let's see. Yeah, so we're starting up here with the Queen of Swords. Like I said, air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But yeah, I think so, yeah. Anyway, the Queen of Swords, you know, she's very... You've got 2 Queen of Swords here. Like, the Queen of Swords has been through a lot, okay? The Queen of Swords... To get to where she is now, you know, the Queen of Swords had to be quite tough, quite cool, calm and collected, okay? I'm sorry for swearing, but you know, the sort of person that's always got their shit together. And I think this is you, okay? I think you are the sort of person, gender is, you know, I don't read gender specific, but it's the energy here. You know, it's, I think this is you. I think that you are, you know, you're always in control. You've always got your ear to the ground. You always kind of know what's going on. You're a very strong person. You know, you've got strength here with the Queen of Swords twice, you know. And the Emperor always, you know, he's in charge. He's in control. He conquers. He's always, you know, he's always in charge. I think this is you. I think, like I said, maybe there might be a little bit of control issues going on. Okay, you know, everything, because of some of the things that you've been through in your life. You want everything to just be just so. You want it to be just right, and that's fine. You know, this is the thing about shadow work. It's things that we might see as flaws in ourselves and see as faults in ourselves, but it's something that we have to learn to embrace. And it's not necessarily a bad thing if you do feel that you might have control issues like this, but it's just saying, if you start to recognise those things going on, you know, you can look it dead in the eye and you can say, right, I see what's going on now. And you can allow yourself to feel those things and then maybe see if you still want to act in that way or not. So yeah, you know, you always want to be in control. With the Death in the reverse here, like, you don't like change. You're very strong. You're always in charge. You want to be in control of the situation. You're very discerning. You say it like it is. Maybe sometimes you might think that you have too much of a sharp tongue. You know, I feel like, I'm just hearing that you don't like people dilly-dallying. You don't like people being too maudlin or being too affected by negative emotions. In fact, I don't think you allow yourself that much freedom to feel your emotions. Okay? With the Death in the reverse here, death is all about... Oh, by the way, there's also Leo and Aries energy here. I'm just learning to associate the cards with the horoscopes as well at the moment. But yeah, Death in the reverse means that you know, you kind of fight any change. You don't want it to happen. You don't want it to come. You see that change is coming. You can see what sort of effects it might be having on you. And, you know, you try and fight it at all costs because, you know, change means lack of control. How are you going to know what the outcome is? Yeah, and I think this Death in the reverse just... I feel like it's a pathway like this, you know. It directly leads on to the Empress in the reverse here, you know. I think maybe sometimes you can be a bit cold with people, you know, maybe not so nurturing, not so kind. You think, you know, you're probably a bit of a fan of tough love, I'm hearing. You'd rather look to be in control than look to be weak. The Empress is not weak, though. The Empress is strong. The Empress is the mother. You know, there's rebirth here. Well, for a very small few of you, I feel that there might be some guilt about not being a mother yet. Only take what resonates. It is a general reading. If you do have any guilt, or maybe, oh wow, okay, for some of you, you can't decide if you want to be a mother or not, or a father. You have the mother and the father here, but the mother card is in the reverse. So there could be some, you know, you're still not sure if that's what you want. That's fine. You know, you don't need to rush into anything. So you don't need to be feeling, you do, I think you carry around a lot of guilt with you, okay? I think as well, even though you're very cool and calm and collected on the outside, okay, you've got the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups here. I think you do suffer with low mood. I think you try to deny yourself. You try and, with the 4 of Cups in the reverse here, okay. The 4 of Cups traditionally talks about not seeing love that's on offer. And so I feel the message for you here with this card in the reverse is that you sometimes are only allowing yourself to focus on the positive, and you, like I said before, you know, like I think you see negative emotion as a bit of a weakness, You, like I said, I think sometimes there are low moods. So you've got the 5 of Cups here. Can you see these 3 cups are spilled? And it's like, that is like a bit of a negative mindset. So I think you try and look on the positive side, but you can't help but see the negative quite a lot of the time. And with the 8 of Cups in the reverse, I think there are some of these emotions that you can't let go of. I think you cling on to them. You need to be in charge of your emotions, and you need to be in charge of so many different things. And I think that finding that balance within, you know, allowing yourself to feel happiness, allowing yourself to feel sadness. Feeling your feelings is a very, very important part of this spread. Like you are so strong. Again, with the strength card right up in the top in the middle here, you are such a strong person, and I really do feel like you've been through the mill. And I think that sometimes this can cause you you can feel dejected, you can suffer with anxiety, and that's where this control comes in. And also, you know, that is going to funnel into this indecision. But there is a message here that you need to trust yourself more with decisions and with relinquishing some of that control. Let your intuition guide you. You can't be in control of your intuition. Your intuition just kind of tells you through your gut. If you want to change how things are, or if something new is coming, maybe you have new ideas. Maybe you're suppressing something new. You have death, and like I said, for some of you, it could be guilty to do with pregnancy, but I feel like there's something here that like you've kind of fought. You've fought some sort of renewal. You've fought some sort of rebirth. You're kind of denying yourself this, and it is hard if that's what you're doing. And it is hard if you're stuck in this indecision about what you want for your future. You know, there might be that you've suffered some loss here, but there is love, okay? In the 5 of Cups, look, there is love available for you. In the 5 of Cups, you've got these 2 cups are still upright. 2 cups is soulmates. 2 cups is love. 2 cups is balance of emotions. So don't focus on these rejected ones. I just really like in the background, actually, can you see here? There's someone on the floor, and there's someone else like reaching out to them. This is telling me, let yourself help yourself, you know? Let yourself be, let yourself do that as well. You know, you've got this other card, oopsie, throw it on the floor. You've got this other card here, the bridge, okay? Look at the rainbow between these 2 hands. You can reach out to people. You don't have to keep this all in for yourself. I'm just thinking as well, actually. So swords, Queens of Swords, like this is about communication and reaching out to people. I think you don't talk about your problems. You feel guilty if you talk about your issues. You don't want to inflict that on other people. But the bridge here, you know, it's about acceptance. It's about acceptance and goodwill. It's about, you know, let people reach out to you and you can reach out to other people. For a very small few of you, it's time for you to talk to your person. It doesn't matter if you're masculine or feminine. I have to talk about these 2 cards together, okay? If you're with someone, you need to talk to them more about what's going on. It might feel that you're looking at them and they're looking away, or, you know, it might be the other way around, that you might be the one looking away and you feel like they're looking to you all the time and you're ignoring them. But you are together, you know, this is how it's meant to be. And for another small few of you, you might be in separation with someone, or you might be alone. And it's about it's accepting yourself, okay? Accepting your situation, accepting love, accepting everything, really. Yeah, so I hope it feels a bit heavy. It feels like you can feel a bit stuck and a bit dejected sometimes, pile number 1. But really, you know, you are so strong. And I think you don't have to carry all this on your own. Reach out. And it's really, yeah, there's a really strong message here about acceptance. If you've been caught in indecision about something, or you feel guilty about something in your past, or, you know, indecision as well makes me think of anxiety and stress. And it's, the thing is about shadow work is this is a part of you, okay? It might not, oh, I'll just make sure you're in focus, sorry. It might not necessarily be that you want to hear all of this, but this is a part of you that you're going to have to look dead in the eye, to be honest. Oh, wow. The Empress reversed is also, the Empress is nurturing and loving, okay? Reversed, this is also about self-love. Okay, and look how the Emperor, who is always in control, he's always in control of everything. He wants to conquer, he wants to always be right. Look how he's ignoring. The self-love is looking at the control. So you really need to practice some self-love. And I think that might also cause you guilt. You know, you might think, why do I deserve this? Why should I? No, you need to treat yourself as you treat everybody else. I'm just going to pull a little bit of advice here for you. Just 3 more cards, please. King of Wands. Yeah, again, you know, like being in control. When you accept and love yourself, you're going to feel a fire is going to be reignited in your belly. You're going to start feeling sexy again. You're going to be in control again, you know. You're going to start to heal. You've got the 4 of Swords there. There is some healing for you to be done. And when you look this in the eye, that's when that can happen. Judgment. Yeah, hear that call. The call from above. There is, you know, you're always divinely guided. And I think sometimes you're a little bit in denial about some of this stuff. So it's like judgment in the reverse, falling on death in the reverse is telling me that this is like kind of a bit of a slap in the face from the universe. It's like the universe is saying, right, listen to me now. Come on. Sorry. I think that's what it's saying. It's saying, you know, you don't have to be so dejected. You don't have to ignore your emotions. And hey, I'll tell you something. When you let yourself feel those emotions, when you allow yourself to lose control, that's when you can actually start to let it go. You know, you can start to let these things go. You can accept yourself for who you are. And if you know what, you might just need a really big cry about something. When you start to feel those emotions as well, it's a release. You're always clinging on to them, and you can release some of that stuff now. And yeah, it hurts, but that's acceptable too. Remember that you're only human. We're all only human. And guess what? Humans have emotions. As much as you want to fight the emotions, that's fine. Yes, you're strong. Yes, you're in charge. But letting yourself feel a bit sad every now and again is not losing control. You can do that. You know, treat yourself nicely. Run a bath or read a book. Sit down and eat some chocolate. Sit down and drink some wine. Or don't do that. Go for a run. Whatever it is that you think is you being good to you, that's what you need to be looking at right now. And I think that once you see those kind of shadow aspects of yourself, things are going to really... That Judgment card is going to turn upside down. That Death card is going to turn upside down. The Empress is going to turn upside down. You're going to have this massive rebirth. And your life is going to be full of joy and love again. Yeah, I've rabbited on quite a bit. I do think these are quite meaty readings. I think I'm going to be doing this for quite a while. But yes, I think that was your reading. Pile number 1. I really hope that resonated for you. I really hope that you're not being too harsh on yourself at the moment. Yeah, if it did, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Let me know in the comment section below if it did hit home with you. If you did want to book a private reading at all, you can get in touch with me, moonlightlady1111@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, where you've guessed it, it's moonlightlady1111. Okay, well done you for taking these steps to do this work now, pile number 1. Thank you so much. Mwah, take it easy. Bye. Okay. Put pile number 2 here. Pile number 1 can get up there. Just reset the table. Wow. It's a very interesting set of readings to be doing. It's quite intense. I love it. Okay. Right, hi pile number 2, this is your reading. I'll just pop this number 2 up there for you so you can see. Double check that you're on the right bit in case you've just skipped ahead. which is also fine. Okay, so I've got the Night Sun Tarot up at the top here. I'll just set my timer. I've got 3 cards from there for you. And then I've got 3 cards from the Deviant Moon deck here in the middle. And I've got the Dali deck at the bottom. This is a new deck. Oh yes, you had an extra one jump out here, so I took it. And I've got these 2 Soul's Journey lesson cards. And this is a Wild Unknown archetype card. I have got the book with me because there are a lot of cards in that deck. Just so you know. Okay, so I'll just start turning them over for you, pile number 2, if that's all right. Pile number 1 was quite a lengthy reading, so, you know, do feel free to pause and come back or anything like that. It is shadow work that we're looking at, so if you need to take a minute, take a minute. Okay, so what have we got at the top here? 5, 6, 7, 8 of Cups in the reverse, okay. 5 of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Interesting. Ace of Wands. 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Tower. Oof. And then we've got down here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Sorry, Dali didn't put numbers on his deck. Wow, the Tower again. Three of Wands in the reverse. And the Chariot in the reverse. Oh, okay. How interesting. Just trying to get a feel for them. We have Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness, and I have trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And we have the Mirror. Okay. Okay, pile number 2. Let's have a look at what we've got going on here. About shadows that we might need to look at. I've got to say, you have the Tower twice here. Just taking it all in. You've got a lot of Pentacles as well. This could be to do with work and career. I think there's a lot of impatience. I think impatience is something that you need to bear in mind with the 3 of Wands in the reverse and the 7 of Wands in the reverse. I think that something big is coming. That's what the Tower means. I hate to say it. The Tower, guys, we have to talk about this straight up. As a tarot reader, I cannot ignore the fact that you have the Tower twice in this pile number 2. Okay, something big is coming and everything must be torn down. Okay. As you can see, it's quite a distinctive card if you don't know that much about tarot. And what it means is that big things have to change. There has to be a big change, and you're going to have to leave the past behind and start afresh. And it doesn't matter how much you try and fight it, you cannot avoid the Tower, okay? As you can see in both of these, the Tower has been torn down from above. Something from above is ripping this down, right down to the foundations. This Tower is not going to stand anymore. It's not going to stand anymore, and you're going to have to build it all back up from the foundations. But the foundations were weak for it to fall so easily in the first place, right? And when you build it up, you're going to build it up fresh and new, and it's going to be wonderful. There is a little bit of male energy in here as well. For a very small few of you, you could be a bit... you could be quite inclined to... let's face it, you might feel quite horny quite a bit of the time. For a small few of you, that might be some fiery, passionate stuff. Might be something that you have to look at. Are you driven by a need for passion rather than a need for love? Does that feel that that could hold you back sometimes? That, you know, which is fine. It's really not a problem, I don't think. If that makes you happy, if that doesn't make you happy, you know, are you in denial about trusting other people? Is what I've just heard there. Do you meet someone and are you impatient for it to, for it to just reach this point quickly? Do you go through a lot of breakups? Is that to do with trust issues? These are just questions that I'm finding here. The only emotions that you've got is the 8 of Cups in the reverse up here. Is it the 8? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. I really love this card actually from this deck. As you can see, it's very similar to the Justice card. So it's very balanced. It's all about like, is this fair? Is this right? But as you can see, this woman's need for it to be right is like quite a strain on her. However, this was in the reverse. So I feel that this card in the reverse is saying you struggle to walk away from things and situations. I think you may struggle to put your emotions down. You struggle to leave emotions in the past. I think you carry a lot around with you. You very much struggle to walk away from things, which makes you feel quite a bit of the time like you are out there on your own. With the 5 of Pentacles here, again, this is an interesting one because can you see this hand reaching out? And the 5 of Pentacles, traditionally, you know, it means being out on your own, out alone, feeling left out in the cold. So maybe the fact that you do cling on to these emotions that other people may not be having is something that you carry around with you quite a lot. And it's not that bad to carry things around you, but does it make you, do you break down quite a bit? With the Tower here, do things affect you very deeply? With the 5 of Pentacles, this one is telling me now, maybe, are you always looking for other people to reach out to you, and then do you bite the hand that feeds? Or do you bite the hand that feeds, or are you always desperate for that? Do you feel like a clutching? It feels like you struggle to get off to a solid start with some things with the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. That's one interpretation that I do feel is quite love related, but also, you know, there's a couple of new beginnings here. You know, you're very passionate about getting things started and getting things off the ground, but are you always willing to put that work in? You know, do you want things to happen and then you just kind of expect them to happen? And then you're impatient, you know, and then things, I think, probably start to stagnate. I think you need to trust other people a lot more. Yeah, so you've got the mirror down here as well. And it's, you know, sometimes the shadow side of the mirror can be very, you know, are you on social media a lot? Do you take a lot of selfies? Are you looking in the mirror quite a bit? Is it very important to you that you look good all the time? Is it very important to you that the opposite sex find you attractive? I think, yeah, I'm hearing that quite a bit actually. And maybe, you know, you could have like a little bit of like narcissistic tendencies going on that you could be in denial about, because you think this about yourself, you don't really trust anybody else to get on with it or do it right. That's what I'm hearing. What else could it be that we might need to know? It could be that you're always are you always chopping and changing? With the Tower, do you make drastic changes quite a lot? With the 2 new beginnings, the new beginning here is kind of blocked. It's not very grounded. It's like, I think you have a lot of ideas, have a lot of great ideas, but then it's like, how do I get this started? You know, the Ace of Wands here, you could be a bit more nurturing with yourself. There's a couple of cards here actually with the Ace of Wands. It is about fresh, fiery new starts. But as you can see, this lady is holding a baby. And it's next to this card as well, which is the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. The Seven of Pentacles talks about putting the hard work in, waiting for the seeds to ripen, and then picking the seeds when they're ripe. And as you can see, this Ace of Wands goddess here has got a little baby in a little pea pod. So I do think that there's quite some impatience. And I think, again, like the thing with shadow work is it's not something to beat yourself up with, but it's something to recognise. Because if you can recognise yourself acting in a certain way, and you can recognise yourself rushing around in this way and maybe being a bit destructive in the process, you can, you can notice if that happens again. Yeah, I think with the Chariot in the reverse, it is saying you don't need to rush so quickly. You rush so quickly from one thing to the next that you're not putting that hard work in. Things are hard work. Life is not easy. Anyway, I'm just going to pull you a bit of advice here from the Night Sun Tarot. Sorry, my fingers are aching a bit. The Dali deck is really big and my hands are quite small. So I've got a bit of an ache from all the shuffling I've been doing. Anyway, so what advice do we have for pile number 2? I think that you can sometimes be in denial about being a bit scared about something, and then you might push things away, and then very inward orientated, and if you could open up a bit more, that could really help. Yeah, we've got the 8 of Swords in the reverse. It's about not being blind to these things. 6 of Wands in the reverse. And the 8 of Pentacles again. Yeah, so it's about not being blind to the fact that you have had losses instead of successes, and it's to do with putting that work in. So I think, sometimes you might feel a bit like, oh, I can't be bothered, I don't want to do this now. I'm going to pull you a couple more, actually. I didn't do this for pile number 1, but I feel inclined for you, pile number 2. I think, yeah, it's saying that you don't need to be chopping and changing all the time. I think that maybe there could be, for a small few of you, like something to do with attention span. Yeah, stop sending so many messages. I do think there is some social media stuff going on here, and it is affecting your I think it's affecting your mental health. I think sometimes you feel sad when you look in the mirror, and so you look in the mirror a lot, and then you go on social media a lot. But there's hope for you. You can find this balance if you put work in and stop, doing all this rushing around. Don't rush so much, is what I'm hearing here. Don't rush so much. You don't need to. Trust that things are going to work out. Trust, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And yeah, it might be that the shadow work you need to do is acceptance of some of this stuff with the denial card here. And it might be that it shakes up a lot of things for you in your life with the Tower card twice. For a small few of you, this Tower is going to come. And hey, I've had a few Tower moments in my life. They are not easy. Oh, sorry, I've done it again, haven't I? Tower moments are not easy, okay? But the Tower is always buildable. You can always build it back up. So if you think... You see, I don't normally think that shadow work should result in change, but I just very strongly there is change coming. There is change coming for you. And you need to be aware of that change. Try not to fight it too much. Put that work in for yourself. You deserve that work, You really do. Let me have a little look in the book and see what else the mirror might have to add for you. If I can find the page. I think there's a lot, I think you do a lot of comparison. I think you compare yourself to a lot of other people. And, you know, there's some advice here in this book. It says, speak to yourself gently and kindly in the mirror. It will feel awkward at first, but it is a sure way to become friends with yourself. It even says here, it says, put the phone down, stop with the constant comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with yourself inside. Yeah, you know, all this rushing around, all this big change. You're going to need to stop and nurture yourself. Stop. That's what's coming. I think you could be in danger of burnout, number 2. That could be what the Tower is. It could be coming. You know, you've sent ships out, but they're not going to come back unless you stop. You know, this is a card of being patient. It's like you need to stop this impatience. Just take a rest. Allow yourself to rest. Treat it as self-care. Okay, pile number 2. I think that was your reading. I hope that resonated for you. If it did, please do let me know in the comment section below. You can like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. I really appreciate it. It all helps me grow my channel and, you know, get further along my own journey. Yeah, if you wanted to book... sorry, I can't talk. If you wanted to book a private reading, you can get in touch with me, moonlightlady1111@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, where I do daily card pulls. Well, I try to do daily card pulls. Where, again, Moonlight Lady 1111. You can also send me a private message on there if you did want to book a private reading. Okay, thank you so much. Mwah. Do take it easy, pile number 2, and be proud of yourself for wanting to put this work into yourself. Be kinder to you. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, hi, pile number 3. I'll just pop your little number 3 up there, and I'll start laying these cards out for you. Okay, at the top I have the Night Sun Tarot. Oh yeah, you had an extra one of these jump out, so I might just have to put you there under the selenite and get that there. I think that works. Oh, can you see? That works. Try and fit it all in without messing with my little bit of hematite. There we go. Okay, and under that I've got the Deviant Moon Tarot. And then underneath that I've got the Dali Tarot. I've mentioned it on the other piles, I'll mention it on you as well. This is my new deck. I've used it on Instagram, but I've not used it on YouTube yet. Oh yeah, you had 3 of these Soul's Journey lesson cards jump out as well. And you also have Wild Unknown Archetype card down there as well. Right, okay. So, you know, I will say just before I turn the cards over, that shadow work can be quite heavy, okay? So if at any point you do want to just take a little minute or have a little rest, allow yourself that. And well done you for putting the effort in. Okay, I'll just turn these over now. Okay, we have the 2 of Wands, the Chariot, the 6 of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. 6 of Wands in the reverse. Wow, 6 of Pentacles in the upright. And the Moon in the reverse. Okay. Oof, 6 of Pentacles again. Wow. Look, I had a few repeating cards in here. What have we got here? I feel like this is the 10 of Wands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 10 of Wands. Lucky for us, Salvador Dali didn't actually put any numbers on, so you've got to figure it out. Oh, and we have the Devil in the reverse. Okay. Very interesting. We have Freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. We have Envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Fear. I realise that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And the Storm. Okay, pile number 3. I'm just taking it all in. I think you punish yourself sometimes. I think you sometimes think that you're not good enough. And you don't give enough freedom to yourself to express yourself. I think you suffer with mental health issues sometimes with the moon in reverse here. I think sometimes you feel really out in the dark, you know, like, what am I doing? Why should I do this? And I think part of the shadow work, you have the devil in the reverse down here, which I'm very much drawn to, and it's fallen next to fear. And I think some of the shadow work that you might need to look at is not feeling good enough and releasing that fear that you're not as good as everybody else. You have 1, 2, 3, you have 4 sixes here. You have the 6 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles twice, and the 6 of Wands. The 6 of Wands is in the reverse. You feel like you're not successful enough for the stage that you're at right now. But there is a lot of, you feel like you need to find balance. You feel like you should be giving more. You should be giving more and not taking as much. Or vice versa. You should be taking more and not giving as much. Do you give a lot of yourself away to other people? Yeah, I think you rush around a lot with this Chariot here. You rush around a lot, and it kind of causes an imbalance in your life where you don't give enough to yourself, and that is quite a burden to you because you want more balance. You want more balance. I think you feel that some of the decisions that you've made have meant that you're not as successful as you wanted to be. But this freedom card, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. I think there might be some decisions that you want to make about something. It's like, no, you've made a decision about what you want to do and where you want to be and how you want that to go. But you've not quite, I think you're trying to move on from some stuff in the past. You're trying to move on to some calmer waters, but you feel like you've just stopped. It's like you're not moving. You feel like you're stagnating. But this is all a journey, you know? This is all a massive journey. And I think an important thing for me to say right now is that the end goal is not the journey. You know, you kind of have a choice. Do you want to be at the front of the train constantly fueling the fire, funnel, and then you get to the end result and you get to the final destination and you're like, woo, yeah, I'm here. But all you've done is just work. You've never once got to look out the window. Or do you want to sit back, let life take the reins, and kind of watch the beautiful scenery roll by out the window? Because one of those to me sounds like enjoying the journey. The other one sounds a bit heavy. I think the decision that you've made about the thing that you want to do, a lot of it rides on being successful. Like, I think, like, many eyes looking at you, feeling victorious. And I think that does result in some kind of envy of other people who might be you might see them as more successful than you. And I think you sometimes think, you know, what am I doing wrong? And you question yourself and you're scared that you're not good enough. But realise that you have the freedom to decide that you are good enough. And I think you give a lot of yourself away for free with these 2 Six of Pentacles here. You know, there's 2 of them. And as you can see on both of them, there are 2 sides to this coin. Funny because it's a coins card. I don't know if you can hear Delilah's just having a little meow in the background. Yeah, as you can see on this one, the you know, there's this character down here is, you know, they're desperate, they're poor, and there's someone with a lot of money up here giving them a piecemeal. you might feel that things are being like drip fed to you piecemeal. And then this one as well, you can see the poorer people and there's the richer people, you know, dribbling down some coins to them. And these cards are about equal give and take. So is it possible that in your life there's not quite as much equal give and take as there should be? Considering we're looking at shadow aspects here. What are you scared to let go of? What are you scared to let go of, pile number 3? What are you clutching onto? Do you remember, I'm just hearing very strongly right now, what you put out, you get back. So I think you've made a decision and you're rushing towards it. You know, you're leaving negative emotions in the past. You're trying very, very hard to manifest something here. You might even have a vision board or something like that. You know, you're trying really hard to manifest your success. You want everybody to praise you and your success. But the way that you're going about it is imbalanced. Even though you're trying hard not to, I think you're carrying around some anxiety and some worry. And that is going to be what you're manifesting. If you're manifesting worries, you're not allowing yourself the freedom to take joy in the moment. And this is a massive burden to you. It's a huge burden to you. And you don't know how to... You know, sorry, I keep forgetting that I've gone out of focus. You know, it is a burden to you. But the thing about the 10 of Wands is you know, you carry all this stuff. But the 10 of Wands traditionally is, you know, it's a guy carrying loads of big heavy wood back to his house. So yeah, it's such a huge burden and you've been toiling all day in the field to collect this wood. But you know, once he gets there, that wood is going to heat the house so they can cook the food and the family can be fed. You know, it's a burden, but it is part of the journey. And I think with the Devil in the reverse here, there are ties that bind you and you can release them. And I think it's that freedom that is one of the shadow sides of something that you have to explore. I don't think I'm telling you anything new right now. I think you know that you can let your anxiety go, but you know that you have some decisions to make. I'll just have a little look at the storm, because the storm to me feels like the Tower. But I also feel like there is a storm raging in you. I think maybe as well as the anxiety, I think maybe you have a bit of anger. Let's see. Very interesting. I'm just going to read a bit out of the book for you here. I was right, you know, the storm is like the tarot card. The storm is a great equalizer. No matter how far we've come on the path, no matter our age, wealth or wisdom, we can't hide from its savage winds. The disturbing howls stir anxiety and make it impossible to see and think straight. You must wait it out. If you try to fight the storm, you will lose. A better option is to seek temporary shelter and a reliable friend. When all else fails, go within. There, for a moment, you settle into the eye of the storm. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of disorder and dysfunction going on. I think I think you have like some kind of scatty, crazy energy, and I think that you see that as a massive burden to you. But if you accept this as part of you, then you're going to have the freedom to make some choices to move on from this. I'll just pull you a bit of advice from the cards over here. Sorry, I've shuffled quite a lot of cards today. I'm going to need to get one of those hand exercises. I've got sore hands from shuffling. Right, let's see. What have we got here? 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, you don't need to keep this in. You can let some of this go now. You can make a really courageous decision to leave some of this in the past. This Moon in the reverse, this Devil in the reverse, this 6 of Swords, make that decision, let it go. You can let this go now. You've got the Judgment card in the reverse. You know, you can hear the call. You can start rising up once you release some of this stuff, I think. I think you cling on very tightly to a lot of stuff. Yes, that's what those Six of Pentacles twice say. You cling on very tightly to a lot of stuff. And you don't need to hold on so tight. Oh, that's too many. I'll take that one. Wow. And the Tower in the reverse. You know this. You're fighting this. That's what you're doing. You can't fight the Tower, pile number 3. The Tower is going to come no matter what. And I think that you fear for the future a lot. I think you have a lot of fear for the future, but if you're living in the moment, that's not going to be a bit of heartbreak for you. 10 of Cups in the reverse and Strength. Yeah, things are going to be torn down. Things changed or are changing. But these are things that you can release. You know, you're ending on the Devil in the reverse here. There is strength in you. One of the things is you know how strong you are and you know how resilient you are. It could be that you've been through some breakups or something with this 10 of Cups in the reverse. I think, oh wow, I just heard very, very clearly. Some of the things you have to accept are your journey, is the actual journey you've been on. Maybe you've caused some heartache. Maybe you've been through some heartache. Maybe you feel like you didn't give enough. But the thing is, pile number 3, everything that we do, although I think you've felt you've not given enough to somebody or something, and it's a real burden to you. You think like you've failed with some stuff. But everything that we do, you're trying to move on, but you're stuck moving on. But you've got the Devil. The ties that bind you can be released. The Devil in the reverse. You know, it's funny because this Devil actually is very, very similar to the Fool. So I think there's very much the message here to have faith, pile number 3. Your journey is unique to you. Everybody's journey is different. And I think that maybe there are some things in your past that you're struggling to move on from. But everything, it's all a lesson, I think. All a lesson, pile number 3. You don't need to have any destruction. You have the freedom to release what you want. I think that's your reading, pile number 3. With those 4 sixes, it's about balance and equilibrium within yourself. Making that decision to allow yourself that freedom. And looking at your past, I think your shadows are very much about give and take. And about what's gone on. And trying to move on and not being able to move on. But just because you can't move on from something doesn't mean you can't kind of accept it. Doesn't mean that you can't say, right, what can I learn from this situation? If you can't let go of it yet, it might be that there's something that you need to learn from it. The only way is up. You can't go backwards, you can only go forwards. I really hope that resonated for you, pile number 3. If it did, please do let me know in the comment section below. Please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. If you did want to book a private reading, you can get in touch with me, moonlightlady1111@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, where I do daily card pulls and things like that. You can also send me a private message on there should you want to contact me at all to book a reading. I can tell you all about that. I will be having a website set up soon so you can have a bit more detail a bit quicker. Okay, thank you so much for taking the time to do this work on yourself, pile number 3. Mwah. Take it easy. Bye. Okay, let's move this guy over here. And how the battery's doing. I can't see. Anyway. Here we are. Just reset the table. Okay, pile number 4. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and watch my video and for putting the work in on yourself to do some shadow work today. It's very important for spiritual growth. Can be quite difficult and quite taxing, so if you do feel like you need to take a moment at any point, please do. That's what pause buttons are for. So I've got the Night Sun Tarot at the top there. In the middle here I've got the Deviant Moon. Underneath the bottom, I've got the Dali deck. This is my new deck. Absolutely love it. Not used it on YouTube before, but I have used it on Instagram a couple of times. Oh yeah, you had 3 of these Soul's Journey lesson cards pop out, and 2 of the Wild Unknown Archetypes. Everyone else has only had 1, so I guess we will just get turning. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start turning these over for you now. 10 of Wands. Your shadows are burdensome to you. The Empress in the reverse. Ace of Wands. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. 9 of Swords. Queen of Cups. 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. 6 of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Wands. Interesting. Love. Funny that love is right next to the Queen of Cups. I kind of knew that was coming out, you know. Growth. Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. Humour. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. The Gem. And the Underworld. Okay. Pile number 4. There's been some kind of similar vibes in a lot of these piles, but they are all very different. Right, okay. I feel like there's a very specific story coming out here, pile number 4, so take what resonates. But with regards to your shadows, you know, I think there is quite a bit to do with your feelings around love and relationships and how you connect with people. And it's a lot about allowing yourself to feel those emotions. And I think self-love is something that you struggle with. You know, oh, actually this is really lovely. I think pile number 4 that you're a really lovely, wonderful person and you struggle to accept that you might be as good as you think you are. How lovely is that? You know, you've got the Gem here. You sparkle. You sparkle, pile number 4. You have a great sense of humour. You have so much love, unconditional love to give to everybody. But this is a burden to you for some reason. I think you juggle a lot. I think you think that you're not good enough. Yeah, I think there's a lot of, I think you carry a lot of burdens with you. And I think that some of the shadow work is to do with allowing yourself to feel the love that you have within you and to allow yourself to feel that love for yourself also. I think you're very, very good at nurturing other people. I think you're very, very good at, I'll be perfectly honest, I think you're really good at dishing out love and advice for your friends and your family. I think you're very good at, you know, putting a positive spin on everything. Okay? Yeah, I think you're very good at helping people through stuff. But when it comes to you and your problems, I think, you know, with your own anxiety, it's like you can't, you will happily tell your friends it's okay to feel your feelings, but when it comes to you and your feelings, I think you are racked with guilt. I think you sit up at night worrying that you're not good enough. Oh, pile number 4, I just heard, if only you could see you how everybody else sees you. Okay. I will say you are so, I think you're very resilient, pile number 4. You've got the underworld here. I think that means with the underworld and the 9 of Swords, I think you've experienced grief I think you've experienced loss. Of some kind. Sorry, there's quite a heavy. Yeah, there's been loss here. And it's been a burden to you that it may have stopped some things getting off the ground. You might have had some really great ideas. You could have lost some money because of it. It could be that sometimes you're spinning plates and you just can't quite keep on top of things. Because you're worrying about so many things. I think there's a lot of worry here. Yeah, with the underworld and the gem. Okay, this is very strong. That where are gems and jewels? Where are gems and jewels created? They're created underground. They're formed under pressure. They're formed under pressure, and beautiful, beautiful things come out of that pressure. And so, yes, there has been darkness in the past. And yes, you are love and light and humour and growth and unconditional love. But emotions, both good and bad, need to be felt. Okay, pile number 4. I heard a wonderful quote about the Queen of Cups. A wonderful quote about the Queen of Cups. So, you can see her here. She has the most beautiful cup of love. I've also picked up the Empress in the reverse here. I think it applies. She has the most beautiful cup. The Queen of Cups understands that if you pick up a load of grey stones off the beach, right, all those stones are just grey, aren't they? But then if you pour water over them, empty that cup of emotions and pour that water on the ground, all those stones, you realise some are red, some are blue, they're gorgeous. All the colours come when you allow the emotions in. When you allow the emotions in, you see the rich tapestry of life for what it is. And you offer out this cup of love to everybody else, okay? But with the Empress in the reverse here, this is telling me about self-love and self-care and self-acceptance. And sometimes you're giving that cup of love out to everybody else. Do you ever let yourself drink it instead? Do you ever nurture and love yourself? Do you ever mother yourself as much as you are ready to mother everybody else? I think sometimes you might use humour as a form of escapism, pile number 4. You might joke about things quite a lot, and then you might regret it afterwards. But you do make people laugh. I just need you to know right now, pile number 4, that it's okay. You are love and light. You are love and light. You are. I have a feeling that you might be a light worker of some kind. Okay, I think you have recognised your mission. I think you're on path, to be honest. I think number 4, you're on your path to your own spiritual growth. You're on that journey already. It's the underworld that has flung you onto this path of growth. Okay, and I think the losses that you've suffered have made you see the love in everything so much more. Yes, it's such a burden, and yes, there's so much anxiety. And yes, you're so ready to serve everybody else. But remember that you must serve yourself as well. I think some of the shadows that you have are to do with multiple things, actually. Sorry, something just came to me very quickly. Okay. I think with this Knight of Wands here, You might have fallen foul of love a few times. You might have had very strong emotions for people, but you've actually just been, there's been anxiety and unsuccessful aspects of this. Maybe you've rushed into something. There's been fiery, passionate new beginnings, and you've offered your cup of love. But it's turned out that this person has literally rushed in and rushed back out again, just like that, as quickly as anything. At a time when you really were just ready to settle down with somebody. That's for some of you. For others of you, I think that you're worrying about love, expecting love, knowing that you need to do the inner work, and knowing that once you love yourself, that is when other people can love you too. I'm just going to pull you some advice from over here now, pile number 4. Yeah, I think, with you you're able to G up everybody else. You're able to cheer up everybody else. You're able to, I think sometimes you're able to dish it all out, but when it comes to picking yourself up off the ground, when it comes to keeping your own plate spinning and getting your own things off you, who's there offering you the cup of love? Maybe it's a lot of people, maybe it's nobody. But if you've got yourself, you don't have to listen to that anxiety late at night when you feel alone. Because you are a gem. I'm going to read some stuff from the book for you from those as well. Can I have 3 cards, please? Yeah, 3 of Wands. Have patience, love. Love is coming. In this deck, it's quite a fiery, a passionate card. Knight of Swords. You don't need to know all the answers. 2 of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, you want love and harmony. You really, really want love to come to you. But until you're loving yourself, how can somebody offer you their cup? 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's something still a little imbalanced within. Yeah, you don't have to be happy all the time. You're allowed to be sad. There's been heartbreak. There's definitely been heartbreak, but you can release that. Yeah. Oh, wow. You can't make this up. So when there's something blocking your 2 of Cups, and it's an imbalance, and it's about feeling happiness but also feeling unhappiness, and because when you feel heartbreak is when you can let it go, and that is when you're going to get the Ace of Cups. That is when you're going to get the fresh new beginning. The fresh new love is going to come. This spread is just full of love. 9 of Cups. Yeah. So be careful what you wish for, because if you're sat there telling yourself you're never going to find love, that's what you're going to manifest. Oh, wow. Yeah. Right. Pile number 4. You're such a powerful person. You've got the Magician here. You know this. Everything I'm saying, what you put out, you get back. And you know that you have to turn that love inwards. And that's when that is coming. And I think you're very... maybe a little obsessed with love, maybe like, when's it going to come, what's going to happen, but you are wishing very hard for things, but you're subconsciously still focused on the lack. You need to get everything, I'm hearing you need to just get that heart space cleared. There is still some pain in there that you can release, and when that's released, and all the aspects of life, the swords, the cups, the pentacles, the wands, when you have those 4 aspects in equal balance, there's a bit of a lack of balance here, that is when your manifesting skills explode. I'm just going to read you a little bit more about the gem, because I think this is very important for you, pile number 4. Yes, we know about that. I think you know already about the pain in the heart. You know that. And I don't need to push that to you, do I? But it's about looking at it when you look it dead in the eye, that's when you can put your arms around it. Yes, it's full of shadow. Yes, it's full of pain. But when you allow yourself to feel those negative things, that's when you can start to walk through them. Yeah. Oh. There are infinite names for the gem. It is also known as the jewel, the star, the talent, the gift, the gold. One thing for certain is that it is found deep within a substance that is very much unlike it. Diamond in the rough, for example. The gem always stands in contrast to its surroundings. You can't find it when you're among comforts and pleasantries. Yes, it's in the earth amid pressure and darkness. You are going to find your light from delving into your darkness, pile number 4. Discovering the gem requires a descent beneath the surface where there is no definitive map. Yet the longing to touch the true gem within us is so strong that we cannot help but seek out its radiance. Your gem, like your destiny, is unlike any other in the entire world. Keep digging. The moments of your life that glimmer are clues to where the gem resides. Don't covet the sparkling diamond of another. The gem is like a fingerprint, never to be repeated again. Find yours. Your light is in you. Your gem is in you. Pile number 4. And I think for you that is a shadow. Accepting that is difficult, you know. It is hard, especially when you're racked with anxiety, because as well, you know, I think you're a light worker, and I think you're on this journey, and we're told to release the ego, aren't we? Release the ego, and so you think, oh no, I can't be thinking this much good of myself. But I think, pile number 4, that speak to yourself as you speak to your friends, I would say. I think that was your reading. Oh, pile number 4 though. I'm so proud of you for starting this journey already. You are growing every day. Yes, it's a burden. The other thing is, pile number 4, spiritual awakening is not pretty sometimes. It really isn't. It's sticky rather than pretty. Honestly, it's hard. It's messy. But once you start digging around in that mud, oh, well, that's when you can clean yourself off again afterwards and just be proud of a hard day's work is what I'd say. I really hope that resonated for you, pile number 4. If it did, you know, please do get in touch. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. You can contact me, moonlightlady1111@gmail.com. You could also follow me on Instagram where I do daily card pulls. You can send me a private message on there. And yeah, I offer a few different types of readings. So yeah, do take it easy, pile number 4. Well done you for putting this work in. Shadow work is not easy, but it's so necessary. Okay, thank you so much, pile number 4. Mwah, take it easy. Bye.